Hi, you guys. I'm Brooklyn, and I'm on this week's episode of The Tuck, and you don't want to miss it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Tuck. I am your host, Welington Gomez.
And you know who it is. It's Edward_ENT, and we're back with another fabulous week. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single notification. Everything The Tuck.
Our next guest is a ballroom icon, a diva, considered one of the voguing wonders of ballroom.
Boom, boom.
Welcome to The Tuck, Brooklyn Juicy Miyake-Mugler.
Okay. Hi, you guys.
I am so happy to have you here, Brooklyn. Like, seriously, like, this is, I think, for me and you, like, this is one that we were, like, dreaming of.
Stop it.
No, all of them.
Mind you. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When I got the email, I was like doing like a lot of like other kinds of work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had seen the email, but I didn't respond right away because I was like really like losing my fucking marbles over work. And I was like, I had spoke to one of my managers. I'm like, bitch, like, I got an email to do this podcast and I want to do it, but like I cannot bring myself to respond. Like they were like, when'd you get the email? I was like, maybe like a month ago. And he was like, Brooklyn, are you kidding me? I'm like, I couldn't do it. I can't. And he responded, and I'm glad he did because I'm happy to be here.
Yes, he did respond, and he was amazing, and we're happy to have you. And everything comes in due timing. So the fact that you didn't look at the email, now you're here, and now we're here. So
We came around, and that brings us to our first segment of the day. Well, obviously, we know a little bit about you because we've done our research, but we want to make sure our listeners know all the 411 and the hot gossip on you. So we're going to start off with a quick 15, okay?
All right.
So, where are you from and what's your background?
So I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, if it's not obvious. And what was the thing again?
and your background, like, where are your family's from?
My mom is from, where's my mom from? That bitch lived everywhere. I don't know.
Okay.
I know my mom is definitely from New York.
Okay.
You're like, I know that for
I'm
sure.
going to say, yeah, my mom grew up in Long Island.
How was growing up in New York?
For me, growing up in New York was, I would say a breeze. Growing up like queer, I would say a breeze.
Okay.
Knowing
That's
that
a
like,
blessing.
yeah, knowing that like, all the things that queer people can go through growing up or like experience, mine was definitely a breeze.
Was it because of your parents?
A little because of my parents. Also because like I grew up in the hood, but like it was more so like everybody knew each other. So it was like it was never really room for like anything too crazy to happen to me.
Okay. I feel you.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, living in the city, you got to meet a lot of new people. Are you single or are you ready to mingle?
So I actually have this thing where I don't date.
Okay.
I don't date.
You don't date?
No.
Girl, because on the last episode of House on Fire, you said you keep a roster.
I do keep a roster, but I don't consider that dating.
What do we call it then?
I don't consider that dating. Honestly, I really don't, because for me, dating is like taking one person serious and like, working on that one person. I feel like now we live in a day and age where like having multiple people in your back pocket is so glorified and it's so like praised. I don't really consider that dating.
I feel you.
I would call it having fun.
Having fun?
Yeah.
Period. And we love to have fun. So if you were to go on dates, would you like them to be fancy or low-key?
So I'm more of like a go with the flow kind of girl.
Okay,
I'm actually super picky, so it doesn't really have to be anything too fancy because 9 times out of 10, if I go to a fancy restaurant, I will be eating like chicken tenders. Like shit like that. Cause like, I don't know. I don't eat a lot of stuff. Like I don't eat seafood. I don't really eat pork. I'm not a big fan of steak. I eat steak, but it's just like, for me, like it takes too long to digest. I don't like food sitting inside me for a really long time. I start feeling all sluggish and things like that. So I try to stay away from that. I'm really just like a chicken person.
But you be on your vegan shit sometimes too, like veggies, fruits.
I actually love veggies and fruits, but I'm not vegan.
No. You're like,
No.
I'm gonna eat my chicken. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna eat chicken down.
I love my fruits. I could do like.
You vegan?
No, I wish. It's expensive to do all that.
You know
It
what? And I
is.
don't. Okay, let's get into this.
Let's get it.
Because I don't fucking understand how the fuck it is so expensive
To be healthy.
To be healthy.
That's
It's insane.
Like you know what's really like crazy and mind-boggling to me? Healthy shit that we all eat comes from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not processed. Then we have shit like cakes and cookies and all of these shits that you gotta put this in and then add that and then sprinkle this and then dust that over. And it's like, why is all of it? This took all of this and this costs 50 cents, but a carrot in the store is $3.
How?
Makes no sense at all.
And all you needed for the carrot was dirt and water.
Dirt and water.
And a seed. I don't get it.
It's literally insane. I think, you know me, I have a theory for everything.
I'm hearing it.
It's literally like just the government trying to keep black people down because who are the communities that are more in poverty, black and brown communities. So
Literally.
they make it expensive for it to be healthy. So like that, our people die quicker, our people get sick quicker, and our people are at disadvantage while they
the resources.
have more money just in the sense of like, because of privilege and the way that this shit is, and they get to eat healthy. They get to
We have a lot of
insane.
grocery deserts also around here. Like we have bodegas on every block. We have a smoke shop on every block. But
Bitch.
to find that Whole Foods, to find that Trader Joe's, you got to put that work in or be in that area. So,
Or be in Manhattan
Hello.
Or downtown Brooklyn.
or downtown. Like why I gotta go downtown? Insane.
Oh, but you want me to go to Key Food. But you want me to go to Key Food. Bye.
So segue back into this one. I would say love or money.
Yeah.
Be honest, girl.
Wait. Fuck. Wait. Okay, I heard something else. What'd you say?
Love or money?
Money. Money.
You're the first person that said money.
And then you're going to be able to go vegan.
Money.
You're going to have that vegan money.
You know why? Because, don't get me wrong, I'm a person, I fucking love.
Right.
I have a very big heart. I love people. For me, money just makes my fucking world go round. Like, it might not make everybody's world go round, but like when we get down to the nitty gritty, like,
Yeah.
bitch, you need money.
Girl, it
like, you
make
need money to do anything. You need money to live. You need money to die. You literally need money to die.
And
Hello.
You
literally need money to die.
You can literally use money
Like-
to make other people happy too.
Right?
Yes.
Money makes the world go round.
Money makes the world go round. And I don't know what this whole speculation of money can't buy happiness. Like,
Right.
I don't know what that's about, but like, if money can buy your happiness, say that. Say that about you. Don't
Right.
make that a general thing.
Exactly.
You got it. You
'Cause,
heard
bitch,
it.
I'd be
First.
happy. I'm happy right now.
Money makes me very happy. When I can pay my rent, it makes me very happy.
No.
Yeah, at ease.
No. That makes me unhappy.
But you have to pay it?
That makes me unhappy. Because I like spending money, but we don't want to spend money on necessities.
Right.
Okay? We don't want to spend money on necessities.
That should be taken care
We
of.
want to spend money on the things we want to spend money on.
Flights,
Like
PJs.
flights. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a call. Who's this?
It's okay.
The call.
Flights,
Don't-
PJs, mall runs,
Money.
you know,
One
be
of
able
all.
to order $600 on
Yes.
DoorDash.
Eat oysters.
Like, bitch, if I want a $2,500 shoe, I want my $2,500 shoe. I don't want to have to pay $2,500 rent.
Right. It's
I want a shoe.
right?
insane.
We want that fresh pumps, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna pump through these questions and move on to hot A-line
All right
solutions.
now.
So speeding it up through, we got little spoon or big spoon. Which one are you?
I actually like to be big spoon.
Yeah.
I actually like to be big spoon. Only because I feel like when I'm little spoon, I feel like I start overthinking it too much. Like
I feel you.
I start trying to like control my breathing, and am I breathing too much, or like is my head a certain way? Like my neck is hurting. Like
our hearts beating at the same
yeah,
time.
The
like
breath control.
it'd be too much. It'd be
Okay.
too much. So I like to be big spoon.
Yeah, and then once you're hot, you're like, oh, get off, get off, get off.
Yeah.
Night in or night out?
I hate outside.
Yeah.
For real?
I fucking hate outside.
You know what? I believe you because I never see you outside.
I hate outside.
So my
I
next
love
one was
being in-
introverted or out or
I'm
extroverted.
so
that's it.
introverted. I love indoors. I would go outside to go to somebody else's indoors.
Oh yeah.
I just love indoors.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because outside, like, you know, that I hate being up on my feet.
It depends. It depends.
Honey, those feet are legendary.
I
So
hate being up on
we
them.
have to take care of them, honey.
All right. And then last one. How would you describe yourself in one word?
I always use the word boisterous. If you guys don't know what boisterous means, it means like loud, like obnoxious, like, you know, like exuberant. Oh, that's another big word. Like, yeah, very like outgoing, outspoken. Like, that's me.
No one in the room.
To get into our next segment, which is one of the segments that a lot of people love because we've actually like touched so many people's lives with this segment, and I'm so proud of it.
Touch me.
Yes, honey. Well, you listen, you're about to get into it. I'm going to read you an advice submission sent to us by one of our listeners, and we want to know.
I love it.
We want to know what your advice would be. This week's listener needs help. I'm a 28-year-old trans woman who recently started dating again after my transition. While I'm excited about meeting new people, I'm also worried about when and how to disclose my trans status to potential partners. I want to be honest, but I'm scared of rejection or negative reactions. How should I approach this delicate subject in the dating world? Sincerely, cautious dater.
Gotta be.
Well, firstly, love, congratulations on your transition.
Period.
We love that for you. We love people who are able to find themselves and be comfortable in themselves. So, claps to you. We love that. When it comes to dating, the best advice I can give you that I kind of walk with in myself and like how I maneuver like dating or like meeting someone new being trans, it depends. If like somebody like hits me up on Instagram through like a DM or something like that, I instantly like, well, I don't even fucking disclose it because like, if you scroll down my page, like you can obviously see.
Girl, you found me. Like, why I gotta disclose something
like,
on my Instagram?
Yeah, like 9 times out of 10, if somebody's writing me, I feel like they know that I'm trans. Like, there's no way you don't know. Like, come on. If it's in person and
wait,
like,
hold up. Were you trying to say that you're clockable? Because you're not. So
I'm
like, I was just about to say, like, hold up. We're not about to make it seem like the doll is clocked. Like,
no. Okay, so I don't think it's anything wrong with being clocky. I don't think necessarily I look clocky.
Not at all.
I think
very little nose.
My voice is what gets me clocked. So like I was about to get into when I'm meeting, like if I was to meet a guy in person, I try to do as little talking as possible. And that's only because like, one, you want to be safe 100%. You never know like how somebody will react to you, like telling them that you're trans in person, in their face, face to face, one-on-one. So you always want to like, you know, think about that. Okay, so like, for instance, like this guy, he came up to me in the store the other day in the bodega, bitch. And he's like, yo, miss. And I act like I didn't hear him. Mind you, I have no headphones in and everything. I know he's talking to me. I just paid him.
Right.
Because, bitch, I know my voice is not the cuntiest thing. So he's like, yo, miss, I paid him. He literally taps me on my shoulder like, excuse me, miss.
Oh.
I turn around. He's like, I'm like, yes. He's like, how tall are you? I instantly thought he clocked me right there.
Ooh.
I'm like 5'7". He's like, what's your zodiac sign? I was like, I cut it short right there because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like certain words for me, like my octave, like my voice, like kind of goes up and down. So like, I'd be like 5'7", or I'd be like Aries. Like, you see how it sounds a little different? Like, I don't need that. Oh, I hit the mic.
No, you're good.
But yeah, back to the question. I'm sorry, I got a little off topic. I would say for you, never disclose it in person. Safety reasons. Never disclose it in person. Get a number, get an Instagram, get a Facebook. Disclose it over text. Reason why I say disclose it over text, you're in a safe space at the moment. It's just a text message. This person has already seen you in person before, so they know what you look like. They were comfortable with what you looked like before you told them this. So it's now up to them whether or not they want to deal with you or they don't want to deal with you. And it's a healthy way to do it.
Period.
That's great advice.
You're not risking getting attacked.
Right.
You're not risking getting read, getting disrespected. It's none of that.
It.
Yeah. So I like to do it over text.
That's great advice. Thank you for giving advice to our hotline listeners.
Thank you. Is there another? I like these.
Yeah, while he pulls that up, we're going to get into the real juice that I really need to get into. So I discovered, you came into my life with Legendary, and we want to know what happened with Legendary. What happened?
Girl. All right, so that NDA is over. So, bitch, I can talk about everything.
Let's do it.
What was that experience like?
Now, it was definitely a positive experience, I would say. I'm
Love to hear
100% grateful for the experience. I enjoyed myself. I got to make a moment. I got to touch so many people. I got to be seen. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes,
Yes.
fucking horrible.
Production?
Usually.
Horrible.
In what way?
Horrible. Horrible, bitch.
On a Zeus level, horrible, or like...
Not so much on the Zeus
Peacock
level.
and starting
Zeus
things.
is just like...
No, because I mean the production was there. The episodes were
course.
there.
Yeah. The budget and everything was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much of like things like that. It was more of like... it was real sabotagey.
Mm.
It was real sabotagey.
Was that through like interactions with the judges? Like, were you able to link up with the judges in between those moments, like off camera?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay, so that wasn't.
So when you say sabotage, you mean like between the houses? Like I know that on Legendary you guys did a lot of challenges and things like that to earn extra points, get your house to the next level. You felt like some of the judging was already like for certain houses?
When I say sabotage, I don't mean like between like the houses and the judges. I mean like literally from production.
Okay.
Like from execs.
Yes. And that's very interesting to hear you say because you won. So the fact that you're the winner saying this, I want to get the girl that went home first. How she feels.
What you gotta say, huh?
Right.
Yeah, it was just like really bad. Like, I feel like it was because we were so good that they like were really doing that to us. Like, it was like I felt like they clearly could tell like there was literally no competition.
Like the politicking.
What was one way you felt sabotage? Just give me one. You don't have to go through the list.
So remember Slay Ground Playground? That was the episode where I was Wonder Girl. It was Day Day's birthday, and I cried that episode. I cried that episode because one of the moment with Laomi, and then two because you seen we had like the big props or whatever, right? So the way the stage was set up, the stage is set up like a T in the T shape. So we originally had our props on either side of the doors, like how the doors open up there here, and we were gonna like just vogue down the runway. They told us we couldn't do that, so we had to do it in front of the door and down the runway. They told us that was okay. We practiced like that for one day. The next day we went to stage rehearsal. They told us that wasn't okay.
And 1 days don't seem like a lot, but how many hours was that one day while you guys were practicing?
2 hours.
Okay.
3 hours.
Put in that work.
So imagine like literally like working like 2 hours, 3 hours. On stage is the only time you have on stage, and they're literally telling you like you can't do this. So we wanted the props here. They told us we couldn't do that. So we put the props here. Wait, am I doing this backwards? I'm doing this backwards. We had the props here originally. So it was one at the door, one here. They told us we couldn't do that. So then we had the props like on either side of the doors.
Right.
They let us practice like that, like for all the rehearsals that we had on the stage. They then came to us the day before. The day before we filmed like the competition episode and told us that doesn't work for the cameras, that we have to put it back this way. So we didn't rehearse this way, so we don't know what the fuck we're gonna do.
Right.
Now we have to change everything. It's like
formations, all of that.
Literally everything had to change.
Because even though Legendary is a Vogue competition, but I feel like it was a choreographed Vogue competition.
Yes.
So there was a difference in the way
Yes.
the ball was, because it wasn't a open to all. It was
No.
choreography.
Literally, yeah. And then on top of that, literally like we didn't get to rehearse at all with the new stage setup. We literally, I think, rehearsed with the new stage setup for literally like an hour and 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours.
Wow.
And it got to the point where like we literally were like in our hotel rooms practicing. Like we literally took like the bed out of the hotel room so that we literally just had the room and we're rehearsing in the hotel. Like we weren't sleeping at all.
Wow.
Like it was really bad. On top of doing all this choreo and things like that, we're not properly eating. Well, we are, but we aren't.
Because
actually, I'm lying. We aren't.
Because
it was
busy
quarantine.
or because food is not available.
Because it was quarantine. Okay. So if we would have left the hotel, we would have been disqualified.
Got it.
So right. When the food came, that's what you had.
Right.
It wasn't really much of an option.
So choreo, barely eating, barely sleeping, have to come up with costume ideas, have to come up with music, have to come up with makeup, have to come up with hair. Like it was just so much shit going on.
Do you have to do your own makeup, your own hair, your own?
No, they did all of that for us. But it was just
you had to come up with the concept.
Up with concepts. And then also for this episode, Slayground Playground, we wanted to do what do we want to do? We wanted to do Rugrats. The Revlons had their Rugrats. We had originally told the producer we wanted to do Rugrats. They told us we couldn't do Rugrats because they told the Revlons that they could do Rugrats. Mind you, we had told them we wanted to do Rugrats before the Revlons. So the way it worked was literally after we would finish filming one episode, it will be right on to the next. There's no time to sit and glow in your win. Like it's right on to the next. So literally like we win, we go to sleep. The next day, we're telling them what we want to do. It got to the point where we were like thinking, like a lot of the houses were thinking about the same things. So we started sending text messages literally that night. Like after we won, like we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We would all meet up in a room the day after and we would talk about what we're doing. And the Revlons had said Rugrats and they had told us no the night prior.
Yeah.
And then we had asked the Revlons what they were doing. They had told us Rugrats. And we were just sitting there fucking confused. Like,
gagged.
How the fuck are you guys doing Rugrats?
Yeah. When we were told no.
And we literally asked to do Rugrats. We know we asked first.
Right.
And y'all are doing Rugrats.
How do you think production could have managed that better?
I think they managed it how they wanted to. I think they managed it how they wanted to. Yeah.
And in that situation, I guess moving it outside of the production, within the judges, who do you think was the best and the worst judge that we got to see, experienced?
Well, I'm gonna exclude Laomi because she's obviously from Ballroom.
Yeah.
So obviously her opinion would be the best opinion. Exactly. So I'm gonna exclude her. Out of Jamila Law, Kiki, and whatever guest. Well, the guests don't really matter because we don't see them every day. I would say Kiki. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It was honest. It was love behind it. It didn't seem like malicious or like shady.
And it seemed like she was doing her homework.
Yeah.
Because no shade, the first season, the girlies didn't know what a spin was. The girlies didn't know what a dip was.
Talk about it.
Jamila was just like, I love this, and those colors were cute.
Listen,
and I love your energy. If you're gonna be a judge, one, she loves to say that, you know, taking up space, all of that stuff, right? If you're gonna be a judge on something that you don't know nothing about,
got him started.
The only thing you could do is, you know, educate yourself on it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate Kiki for, she seemed to know a lot about ballroom for what she did know. And I know her. I'm sure that, I don't know her personally, but in the sense of like, she educated herself for this job. And I appreciate that.
A lot of people actually don't know that Jamila is actually one of the executives of the show.
Gaga, that kind of ties in. That makes sense. Well, shout out to her. Shout out for being an executive and fun.
And that's why you need to read the credits when you watch shit. Because if you read the credits...
You think Jamila has something to do with the cancellation?
No, I know why that is.
We need to start owning shit. But why is that?
So, Legendary got canceled because, one, when it came about, it was only... I guess the contract for the show itself was only 3 seasons. It was gonna be like we'll see how the show's doing after 3 seasons. If it's doing good, we'll keep going. If it's not, then we'll cut it. The show was doing good.
Amazing.
And it was supposed to be another season. But what happened was HBO got bought out by Discovery Channel.
Yep.
And when they got bought out by Discovery Channel is the people who clipped a lot of shit. And so Legendary was one of the shows that got clipped.
If we were to see something like Legendary, a show as iconic, who would we have as judges? Who do you think would be a good judge? A panel of 4.
Are we talking like celebrities or like
Who? Anybody?
A little mix.
Who I think would be a great judge? I think Zendaya would be a great judge. Love Zendaya. I would love to see Hunter Schafer. We need some trans representation up there. Zendaya, Hunter Schafer. I can see
Who from Ballroom?
I actually want to see Deshaun. I actually want to see
He
Deshaun.
ate that MC.
I actually want
He
to
ate that MC.
One of my favorite outfits that he had on was the one, I think it was Pop Art. And he had that like orange like tape around
Yeah, it was so good.
My favorite look that he was in was it was actually from my season when he had on the Tom Brown look. It was so fab. But I would say Zendaya, Hunter Schafer, Deshaun, and who else?
Who from House on Fire would you select to be a judge?
Myself.
Period. Well, that is
safe.
That is it's funny that you say House on Fire because with that said, we saw you on Legendary, you won the show, your life changed. Now we see this show, House on Fire, Wow Plus's new reality TV show that's not focused around a drag competition. It's more about following the lives of queer, black and brown people in ballroom.
It's so
specifically
exciting.
the house of Miyake-Mugler.
Yeah.
So how were you approached to be on the show?
So I actually spoke to one of the producers who I'm really close to, and he's actually the one who reached out to me. We were like talking, and I asked him, I'm like, what made you guys like pick me like for the show? He was like, oh, because you're young and we needed somebody like spicy, and like you were like giving that, like he said I give that kind of energy, which I do. But then he told me he was a little bit shaky about it, also because I was so young. And then he told me it was a specific scene that we filmed that he knew like I had just like started like the show, like I made the show high.
What scene?
It was the scene on the terrace. Was it the terrace? No, that wasn't the terrace. It was a rooftop. It wasn't the rooftop party though, I don't think.
Is it the one that you?
It was the rooftop party
with Exotic. When you find out about Lane. Okay, honey, hold on.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into it. So earlier this season, we saw that you said voguing was starting to not be fun for you because you are the voguing diva of New York City and you be winning, girl.
Thank you.
So
Damn.
how was it shaking that mood off? Because we know that you still vogue. So
Yes.
how was it shaking that, that groove of feeling like undefeated and then losing that love momentarily for voguing?
I never really lost the love for it. It was more so like
a disappointment in the competition?
Not even a disappointment in the competition, more so a disappointment in myself. And I say that because like for me, ballroom was something I did for fun. And because of Legendary, which was, again, a great opportunity I'm 100% grateful for. If it wasn't for Legendary, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Right.
If it wasn't for Legendary, I would have still loved ballroom. It was the fact that I had to do it every day consistently for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally like, eat, sleep, and breathing ballroom. Like, and it got annoying. Like after the 4th episode, which I think was, what was the 4th episode? I think the 4th episode was anime. After anime, yeah, going into Pink Panther, I was fed the fuck up. I was ready to go home.
And
it
you
was
were
a
carrying.
lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then coming home to Ballroom, like after doing that for 3 months, like I don't want to fucking do this right now.
Right.
Like, so I had stopped voguing for like, I want to say maybe like a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Is that what you say on the show? Like, I've been gone for a year. They're gonna forget about me.
Yeah.
So we saw that sisterhood with the femme queens on the show. How was it having Tati and Chanel as big sisters and going through this process with them?
I just want to say, firstly, shout out to Chanel and shout out to Tati. I love you girls so much.
Period. We love them too.
Love you guys. They're like my fucking like real life sisters. Well, Tati is more like a. Actually, like in real like gay like family life, like Tati's like my grandmother. But like, it really is like a sisterhood, like because like. You know, they've been trans for years, like, you know, and I'm like newly, like, you know, a femme queen, and just having that support genuinely from people who I know, like, love me and support me and are similar to me and have similar personality traits to me. It feels really good. It felt really great. Important.
Well, we saw that you opened up on the show about your transition, which was... I commend you for it, for being so open, because that's something very hard to do it in front of cameras. Absolutely. Who were you? What was the most nervous part about sharing that on camera? And also from the house, who were you more nervous to tell?
So I'm actually digging to Legendary a little bit. Again, I'm gonna tell you some more shady shit that they did. So when I got on Legendary, they knew that I was transitioning. And they wanted me to talk about my transition on the show. I told them I didn't want to talk about my transition. They had this whole fucking like rollout set up for me. Plot. Like they had it all set up.
They wanted an Emmy.
Like bitch. Literally, they had it all set up for me. Like I was supposed to do a B-roll. I was supposed to talk about my background, my upbringing, my relationship with my family, how I navigate my everyday life being trans and all. It was like a whole rollout. Like it was supposed to make me like the fucking girl.
Right.
Which you
I literally told them, like, I'm not comfortable talking about my transition. And they literally paid me.
Now, is that why you think the sabotage happened? You weren't willing to cooperate with production?
Now, I don't think necessarily me telling them I don't want to talk about my transition is what fueled the sabotage from production. But I do think it played the part. I do think they were a little salty that I didn't want to talk about it because I feel like they know that would have been great TV. And they're and no shade.
Thing.
The producers are here to do a show. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they forget that people are people, and you have to respect people's desires. So that's very interesting.
And boundaries. Let's talk about boundaries.
Right.
Yeah.
So who were you more nervous to tell in the house?
I would say not really anybody, honestly. Because I knew, like, everybody would be super receptive to it. And I feel like everybody kind of knew, which everybody clearly did. Yeah. I've always been, like, super, like, ultra feminine, like, in everything that I do. Like, I was never, like, walking out. Like, even when I was, like, a drag or, like, a boy, like, I was never going outside as a boy, like, ever. Like, I literally still to this day have like so many boy clothes that I don't wear. They literally just sit in my closet. Fab shit. So much designer that's just literally just sitting in my closet that I won't do.
Girl, repurpose it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. I've been meaning to go to a
seamstress or something?
No, what is that fucking shit called?
Like
a
Depop? Not Wells Fargo.
But Goodwill? For the less fortunate. Goodwill. I've been meaning to go to like something like a Goodwill because like I want to let go of some of those items, you know, like, and I want to give them to like other people, like, because they're good items. They're high priced items, like $200, $300, $400, $500 shirts, $1,000 sneakers, $400 jeans.
Like, that's the grand prize.
That's the grand prize. It's classic.
It's so
Were
much
you
stuff.
were you pissed when you saw Lena basically tell Exotic that you were transitioning?
I was pissed.
And was that real?
Yes, it was real. Yes, it was real.
Okay.
So when it happened and we were like filming the show, the way like the producers like set everything up, they set it up and made sure that nobody like outside of the scene who was in that scene knew anything that was going on in the scene.
Okay.
So like if it's you, like if me and you had a scene, you would have completely no idea what the fuck is going on in the scene.
Okay.
Like none at all.
Up until we're there.
Literally up until the show comes out and you're watching it.
Right.
Oh.
Unless
So-
you ask your friend.
Right. Unless you ask. So
Right.
word around town had got back to me that Lena had like spooked my tea.
Mm-hmm.
So actually like seeing on TV like how the conversation went about, I wasn't upset. I'm not a person who gets upset.
Mm.
I'm more of like I get like disgusted, like
Mm.
a ew bitch, like that was
You
weird.
weird.
You just
Like,
blew my
that was
shit.
weird. Like side eye, like but no, like yeah, it definitely was a side eye moment for me. Like seeing how the conversation went down, knowing that like it wasn't something that was like forced upon her for her to answer. Like she just willingly gave the information up.
This
It was
was-
like a
This was after the fact what AJ had already told her, right? Do we
What
think it
you
was a
talking
little
about?
bit of like stop like pot stirring there?
wait. What
Oh,
was
you're
about
saying
with
like
AJ?
no, it wasn't.
Oh, it was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was basically saying like, was this before AJ went to tell her that you were telling people
Oh,
about, like,
no, yeah,
Yeah.
that was way before.
yeah, that
Okay,
was
okay.
way before.
Way before.
So, do you feel? Did you feel like she was doing a lot of stuff for camera, or like, is this really how Lena is? And Lena, I cannot wait for you to come on the talk.
But that's why
She's coming up here.
Yeah.
Work. I don't think necessarily Lena was doing like things for television. Lena herself is a very calculated person. And she's very meticulous.
Got
That's what I can say.
Got it.
I
So,
think she has.
Go
Like,
ahead.
you guys handle the reason I asked the question of if AJ had already said the information to her by then was to see if it was like retaliation. But I feel like even within that, like I feel like it was still very like fair. There was love on the playing field. You know what I mean?
even though you really didn't know her prior to the season starting, or at least that's what the storyline makes it seem to be, why were you so inclined for her not to return to the house?
So that is true. I actually didn't know Lena at all prior to the show.
Mhm.
I met her on the show. But I'm more of like I'm not a type of person who typically goes off of like what they hear about people.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was what I was hearing about her. Like how she was as a person, like the way like she was like acting toward people, some of the things that came out of her mouth, her like lack of like motherhood. Like it was like a lot of things that I took into consideration. It was just like, why are y'all even considering
Like you
that?
heard this was a horrible person, so you're like, why are we
why
even
are
talking
y'all
about
even
this?
like why like, and for me it wasn't so much of like I didn't want her in the house. It was more of like I was sitting at a dinner table amongst people talking about someone I didn't know.
Mm.
And that's what
And
you know.
so this is what I knew, and I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like I want to talk about something that I can chime into.
Right.
So it was more of like when I said I don't give a fuck about Lena, like it wasn't like I don't care about
Right.
Lena. It was like bitch, I don't know her to be talking about her.
Right.
So why the fuck am I talking about her? Bitch, I don't give a fuck about Lena. Like
Right.
it was more like one of those.
Do you think that AJ is to blame for the rift between you and Lena, seeing that
Dun, dun.
there was some no shade to AJ?
Shade
Love
to
You
you,
can't-
AJ.
Love you, AJ.
My love, you carried that bone like Sheree Whitfield from the Real Houses of Atlanta, baby. I said this online. I said, we have a new bone carrier.
Yes.
And that's AJ. Because he
But one thing about AJ though, he will cry. At least from what we saw, is like he didn't say shit. Like he was about like, oh, I said this, I didn't say this.
Yeah,
was
he
messing
didn't
with-
backpedal.
He shared
Love
the
that.
information like wrong place, wrong time, but it was always the correct information.
Yeah.
that was transpired.
Sometimes, I guess.
Okay.
But
Trying
yeah,
to throw him a bone right now. Like,
do you think AJ's to blame for that rift?
I do. Also because of like he was new coming into the dinner table scene where I did say fuck Lane and I was given that kind of energy. So I think it kind of like put like something in his head a little bit. And yeah, I feel like it all started there for him.
And he was really a prospect when you guys started filming.
Yeah.
Like this was like this entire storyline that we see on the show is a legitimate thing.
Yeah, it's true.
He's trying to get him to Miyake-Mugler.
I know what not to do.
Because I want to know what my edition is.
The application.
What you want to walk, bitch? I can
Honey,
get
I
you in the
can
door.
do anything, honey. I get into the gym
We're
with the
there.
body.
All right now.
Honey, I can fix this face. I'll do face.
All right.
I was a dancer in high school. If my sister
You
over
wanna
here
vibe.
teaches me the 1 and 2.
She want to
Listen,
vibe.
Girl, we can get into it.
All right now. Let's
Listen,
do it.
I'm
With it.
teachable, okay? If you need me,
That'll be like
let me know.
All right now.
I'll do Juicy too. I'll do Kiki. I don't
And
care.
bring that closet of yours.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
No.
I'm old in the voguing scene?
In the Kiki scene.
Oh, in the Kiki scene.
We have
Okay.
a rule in Juicy Couture where we don't take people over 25.
I wish I would have knew. I was like, I mean, we know.
But you know what?
like,
This
I
is
wish I
why
was getting
we're
younger.
doing these things, because when I was growing up as a gay boy, I didn't know about this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know about this shit. I would have been in the Kiki scene. I would have been in ballroom.
What's like? What's just slightly about the Kiki scene?
Mainstream.
Mainstream, regular.
Damn.
It's only Kiki scene and mainstream.
But
So
it's
it's
like you have all
either...
this training time. I just like missed.
Yeah. You
But
missed the
what we
training
saw
time.
from people like AJ is that you don't need a lot of training, because he was chopped out the Kiki ball 3 times.
Wait, how old was he?
But this was, I think, this show purposes, right?
Yeah.
Show purposes. They added him. I'm a producer. I'm a TV producer, so I get a lot of things. They added him to you because I'm like, even the way that y'all inducted him, I know that's not how y'all induct
Hell
Juicy's.
no.
I know. So I'm
Hell
like,
no.
so
I'm like, hold
because
on.
remember when we were watching?
I was like, prospect. This is our
I remember watching. I'm like, I'm sure that when she said, "This is AJ, he's gonna be walking next ball," all of the girls that have been trying to get into Juicy for years just like
We're flabbergasted, bitch. Yes.
Gag.
Mhm.
From a scale from 1 to 10, how messy was AJ? 10.
And that was before the water scene at the Kiki ball.
And I'm
What was
assuming
your
that
thought there?
you voted for him to join Miyake-Mugler.
I actually voted no.
Gag.
I actually voted no.
Why?
At the time, what he was coming for, like, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
You thought I was clout?
I didn't think it was clout. I saw it for him in the beginning, until the Kiki ball.
A lot of people didn't like the fact that, so you guys add him to Juicy. He walks on the ball. He gets chopped 3 times. We're past this ball. He is now into a lot of mess with the Femme Queens. The Femme Queens drop him. Yusuf dropped him.
Like,
We see this scene in the Femme Queen castle. I'm a huge fan. We see this scene
and we
in-
pass
in-
by there all the time.
in the Femme Queen castle. And it's you, Tati, and AJ. And a lot of people were mad that after you guys added him to Juicy, you guys then took him out of Juicy.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to that?
So like we said, it was for show purposes. But like we said, it was for show purposes. But had he done amazing at the Kiki ball, we would have left him in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
We would have left him. Like, honestly and genuinely, we really would have left him in the house. It was more so like you came out for 3 categories. You got chopped for 2 of the 3 categories, and you lost the last category at the last second.
Right.
You made it all the way to the end, and you dropped the ball.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Let's get to these 3 questions because studio is telling us that we have to finish real quick.
Ramp.
How's your relationship with Yusuf now? We saw that kind of went through a little rift on the show.
I love Yusuf.
You love Yusuf?
I would love
love
to meet
Yusuf.
Yusuf. I would love to know what's in that brain. Like,
Yusuf is a man, a mysterious man. Yusuf is.
But the relationship is good now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear
And
that.
you talked on the last episode, we saw that you had a little problem when it came to overdosing on your hormones.
Oh, yeah.
I actually do want to talk about that because they were in the fucking comments on the Instagram promo tearing me the fuck up.
Saying what?
So
That you was lying or something?
no, they were tearing me up saying that I was trying to overmoan so that I could look more like cunt or whatever. First of all, bitch, I want to clear that up because I was actually going to comment, but I paid it because, yeah.
Because you're here on the top.
Yeah, I'm here. I just want to say, first of all, when I started my transition, I didn't start my transition going to a doctor. I was moaning off the street. I was getting my hormones on the street. I grew up around a lot of femme queens in ballroom. The average femme queen that takes her hormones on the street is taking a full CC, one full CC. Whether you're small, whether you're big, whether you're whatever, you're taking one CC. Every femme queen that you meet, if you go outside right now to a femme queen and you tell her you want to start transitioning, she's going to tell you to take one CC of dilestrogen. So I was taking one CC of dilestrogen, but when I went to a doctor and I actually like legally got hormones, I learned that 1 cc is not what I needed for my body, and that wasn't for me. What I needed was 0.5, half of that. So now I take 0.5, and now I don't even take 0.5 anymore. I take 0.3 now.
Period. Let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's get into our true selves.
Right. All you people that were coming for me in the comments on the Instagram reel saying that I was trying to be cunt and that's why I was overmoaning and I was gagging. No, bitch. I was doing what the femme queens around me were telling me because they were more experienced than myself. And so all I had to do was take their word for it. And clearly it wasn't for me. And so now we're here and now I'm cunt, bitch. What's up?
Now, what's up?
What's up?
Yes.
Brooklyn, what's next for you?
What is next for Brooklyn? I just did something amazing. I went to Korea for something fucking amazing.
Exciting.
I can't talk about it because I signed an NDA,
Of course.
obviously, but be on the lookout for something on August 30th.
Ooh.
Yes, we are tuned in.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, and unfortunately only Instagram because I am terrible at managing multiple social medias. My Instagram is sayani.k, that is SAIANI dot, that's the period, the letter K.
Period. Well,
That has been the tea. Now you decide the shade, baby.
so let us know and make sure that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify to stay tuned to all of our new episodes. And don't miss anything new coming next week because we have many more guests and many more segments to get through. Thank you so much, Brooklyn, for joining us.
Thank you so much, you gals, for having me.
We love
Thank
this,
you.
and we hope to see you next week soon.
Definitely you will.
I said next week, child.
No, next week because we have rehearsal. We're gonna walk this ball, baby. We're walking this ball.